We are live. It is MCU Mondays. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name's David. I am your host. We're going to look at all stuff MCU, not just MCU. We like Marvel. We're gonna expand a little bit, but MCU Monday has a nice ring to it, so we'll stick with MCU Monday. But you know what? We talk about all kinds of Marvel stuff. So, with me tonight is my co-host Debbie. How are you, Debbie?
I'm doing well. And we
Very-
sometimes go off the rails and talk about other stuff.
and talk about other stuff. Speaking of
DC,
off the rails,
Star
I do want to say one thing. With the whole actor strike and writer strike and everything, the SAG and the WGA Writers Guild of America, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, everybody knows they're on strike, so a lot of stuff has been put on hold until that. I saw the news the other day that, in fact, Deadpool 3 was filming at the time. It's cool pictures, but I've also saw that has been now put on hold for
everything is on hold.
Everything's on hold for the duration of the strike. So
unless it's already been filmed and it's done. Although there was talk, I forget what show it was. Because I just seen it on TikTok not too long ago. There was one show that they were going to go ahead and run it, but a lot of the studios are thinking about postponing anything, even if it's done. They're going to postpone.
They're going to postpone it in solidarity, kind of thing.
Oh no, the studios just don't.
Oh no, this would be the studio head, so they would be like, "Okay, fine, you don't want to work. We're not going to show your stuff."
Yeah, who knows?
People are just, I don't know.
It's like, treat your employees right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, that's every industry.
But that it goes both ways too, to where it's like, treat your employees right, and then it's like, well, we're making millions of dollars, we want to make multi-millions of dollars, and it's like, yeah, but
they're sitting in there,
but then you go back to the studios, and the studios are making multi-millions of dollars of movies, and it's like, I don't know. I have no stance on it one way or the other. I think what you're doing, writers, screen actors, things like that, I think that's brave for you to do, and we wish you all the best. So yes, I agree with you. Treat your employees right. There you go. Dave Gramillion, are you watching? Treat your employees right.
Where's my raise?
Where's mine raise? Yeah. He's going to give us like a 25% raise at the end of the month. 25% of whatever we're making right now.
We get a quarter.
Well, 25% of zero is still zero.
I never said I was good at math, so.
Well, there you go.
That's one thing I admit. I suck at math, so. Okay,
so we're talking. I showed you the pictures from Wolverine. Well, Wolverine, it was up there. We looked at some of those last week. There's been a lot more pictures surfacing. When they do resume filming, I'll be anxious to see what we've got. I think the next movie, though, that we've got is the Marvels in November, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've got a ways to go before our next movie.
Unless they decide not to. You're right.
Which is possible, or they could have this whole thing figured out in a week, and
That's
then.
Also, but I'm not very optimistic about that.
So. Here's the thing: is that there is enough content out there for people. I mean, how many people during the pandemic binged watch shows? You sat down and you watched a show and you watched it front to back. There is so much stuff out there that if they sit there and say, oh, well, we're going to strike because we're not making enough money and the studios aren't going to budge and say, we're not giving you any more money, people are going to be like, I don't care. There's enough crap out there I can stream and watch anyways. So the only people really that it's going to bite is if you're watching a series and you end it on a cliffhanger and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I want to see the end of this now. So but I gotta wait. So, but there's like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there to stream. Go back to the movies that we all know and love. But anyway, so before we get started, let me find my thing here. We're gonna before we get started, and I'm still working. I didn't mess. Most of you know I. If you watch Cantina Happy Hour, I had a mild tragedy happen this past week, where my fat cat decided she wanted to jump up on one of my Lego shelves, and it pulled down 5 AT-ATs, one Millennium Falcon, and one AT-ST. And the shelf took everything down with it. It was a hot mess. I don't have those pictures here. I've got them on the Star Wars page. But yes, it was a hot mess, and we didn't like it. And then I was working on stuff. I had had two of the AT-ATs built, and I had the Millennium Falcon about 3/4 of the way done. I'd put the shelf back up. I had stabilized it. I toggle bolted it to the thing, and I put stuff up there, and then that shelf just kind of went. I had put the stupid thing on upside down. I wasn't even paying attention, and the whole shelf just kind of folded. I was like, "Dad, damn it!" And everything fell again. I was like, "Ah!" All of that, everything I did all weekend was just like, and that happened like last night.
I think that's a sign. No more Legos for you.
Oh, can't win. So I did not. Needless to say, I spent all weekend building Legos, which were all destroyed last night. So I didn't get a chance to touch the new theme song that we're working on. I do have it. It's a work in progress. It's getting there. I promise you, and I'll get it. But for now, we're gonna go with the old theme song, and we'll get started. So let's go. Beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm not going to be as talented as that. It's not going to look as good as that, but it'll still look pretty good. I've have impressed myself on a few things, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, so we're talking Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is we are 4 episodes into 6 episodes. So basically, what you've got to think at this point is you got to look at the first 2 episodes as Act 1. We're setting everything up. And the same goes with Star Wars. You know, if you do Star Wars, you do the same thing. You've got the first movie, which sets everything up. The second movie, which is like the dark movie, everything's gone to crap. And then the third movie where we build everything up. So we've got the first 2 episodes, build everything up. Second 2 episodes, everything just goes to crap. And we really saw it in this episode. There was a lot of loss in this episode. A lot of
Pew pew.
A lot of pew pew. A lot of a lot. Oh,
yeah. This episode kicked it in gear towards the end.
and again, and the end was just like by the way, we're talking spoilers, so if you haven't seen this episode yet, Beloved is the name of the. Is it Beloved or is it Beloved? How do you pronounce that word?
I've heard it both ways, so I know in the episode I think they say Beloved.
I would go with that too, mainly because of we delve a little bit into Nick's relationship with his wife, especially right there at the first. The first starts off with her talking to Rhodey, and I've got to say, I noticed this, and I watched this episode like 3 times just because I wanted to be, all set and ready for it. But with Rhodey in this episode, actually, really within everything, he and this is hats off to Don Cheadle. He's doing an amazing job with it, but he is Rhodey, but he's not really acting like Rhodey. I mean, there are just little things that he's
There's
doing
little
where it's
things
like,
he does that comes off as roadie, and then there's other things that come off like something's just
yeah, like
slightly
what,
off.
yeah, like there, he's got a lot more. Okay, a good example I can think of this is in the scene at the end of Civil War when Stanley has his cameo. He goes, "I have a package here for Tony Stank," and Rhodey goes, "Yes, yes, Tony Stank. He's right here. Thank you, thank you." He was just really dry. I mean, the humor was there, and you could hear it in his voice, but it was just really straight and dry and just no nonsense, but still funny,
Mhm.
And with this Rhodey, there's some happiness to his voice, and he's a little more. He shows it a little more on his face, and he's just, you can tell it's not Rhodey that we know. It's, or
Now
maybe the,
you
huh?
skip you skip the opening scene because I'm waiting to say
Oh, go for it.
who was right. I was
Oh,
right.
yeah, you were right.
I was
You were,
right.
you were right. All right, all right.
I'm not right that often, and so when I am, I have to celebrate.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
celebrate Debbie. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Snap, snaps, snap, snaps.
Okay,
So,
move along.
yeah, move on. So, but he does know she's a Skrull, though, because he asks her about that from time to time too. He knows, he's aware. But you are right. He did not come in and kiss her, or yeah, as a Skrull.
No, I was
Was
talking
it?
about Gaia.
Oh, Gaia being not dead. Yeah, comic book movie. I saw that coming a mile away. It wouldn't. At the end of this, Talos gets killed as well. It wouldn't surprise me if they bring him back too. I mean, seriously.
I mean, I don't know because I don't know how he would have gotten the powers because you have to be in that
Yeah.
chamber thingy, and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
so I don't see how he would get the powers. And I would think doing that twice in the movie, or
In
in
the
the series,
series, yeah.
I don't think that would go over well. So, I mean, it's unfortunate because I like, yeah, boner alert. But yeah, I like Talos in the actor Ben.
I was
So
actually, we were watching that scene. Luke and I were sitting watching that scene, and where Talos and Gaia were talking to each other, and I said, "Hey, it's the Star Wars scene because all of those people are Star Wars characters too." You got Gaia playing Kira, and then Talos was
Kenrick or
Krennic,
Krennic, yeah.
Krennic in Rogue One. Yeah.
We have
It's
somebody in the
oh
comments.
oh we do. See, I've got my videos up. I'm not even looking at the chats. How about that?
Avocada.
Avocado. Yeah, we
Hope
know. Spoiler alert.
I said
Avocado.
that right.
You got it. You're good. You're good. How are you, avocado? Avocado. No, I'm not saying it right. Avocado. So, okay. So, we deal a little more with, there's a kind of a little flashback scene to 2012, and I told Luke, I was like, okay, so either New York is about to happen or it's already happened. New York's right around here, and of course she talks about the heroes and the attack on New York, and we get a little Avengers plug in this, and then we jump forward, and Rhodey, this fake Rhodey,
Mm.
absolutely. So the fake Rhodey is, they've got her at the church, and they're basically telling her, you gotta kill Fury, and she really doesn't want to kill him. I don't think she does, which I mean is evidence in future scenes, but she's like she tells him, she's like, he's old, he's decrepit, he's beat down, he's got nothing left. You got just leave him alone. He'll be fine. He's gonna crawl into a hole and die, basically. So, and then he threatens her, you know, which is all that stuff you don't want to do. Watch me as I do it. And it's like, oh, dude.
And then somehow, I assume Fury bugged her phone or bugged something on her.
Something on her is bugged because he was listening to the whole thing, which was really good because he did have another scene with Rhodey later on, and he kept poking at Rhodey. He kept poking it, and Rhodey was just playing it off like, "Oh yeah, you're crazy, Nick. I can't believe you do this." Blah 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 blah. So,
yeah, and I thought that was the hotel scene was great because, I mean, Nick's not even acting like himself. I mean, he was just a little too giddy.
He was, yeah. It was almost like, okay, I'm going to let my shield down just for a minute so you trust me, kind of thing. I get it.
Well, I think it was all a rouge for him, anyways. And I think it was a crapshoot, because he was there to, try and get his job back, but the main purpose was to slip the nanotech into Rhodey. That was,
he even told him he was doing it too. That was what was so killer about it. I was like, oh my God. I was like, okay, haha, that's cute. And then he goes back and he's with Talos, and Talos is like, oh, look, nanotech. And I'm like, oh my God, really? All right, well. The best way to hide is in plain sight. So there you go.
It was great. I loved it.
So anyway, so he pokes fun at Rhodey, and basically it's a I know Rhodey's a Skrull, and I know he's close to the president, and we know they're trying to do something, so we want to kind of keep an eye on Rhodey to see where their next move's going to happen, kind of thing. So, let me think. Oh, Nick goes back to his house after the whole his wife and Rhodey meeting. Goes back to his house, and she goes back and she finds him there, and then they have their little thing, and he basically tells her, I know you're getting ready to kill me. Which I didn't see this the first time, but the second time I caught it was he drew too. I didn't realize he had drawn and shot.
Yeah.
They both drew their gun at the same time, and they both shot. And it just backed up, and you're like, oh, who got who? And I mean, like I said, I didn't notice it the first time. Second time I got it, and I was already like, I already know what happened. So, but whatever. But it was really good though, because neither one of them shot each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick said something like, I don't know if I'm supposed to divorce you or
renew our vows.
We need to renew our vows. So.
And before this scene, which I thought was interesting, we see Talos and Gaia in a park on a bench somewhere talking. And, she's wanting to know, well, he says, I'm sorry I forced you into this, because I had, and maybe I missed something in the early episode or something, but I got the impression she went on her own, but it sounds like.
Well, even she even said, don't apologize for decisions that I made myself or something along that line. So.
Right. But then, she's wanting to know his plan. And he just going with this thing that, we just got to prove ourselves, and then I can go, we'll take out Garrick and the gang, and then we'll go to the president and we'll tell him we saved the planet, and then, hey, in return, we want amnesty for, the 100 aliens that are here.
The 1 million.
Aliens that are here. And I had to agree with Gaia. I mean, I'm like, how are you this delusional to think that's going to work?
Well, one, I'm looking at it like, okay, how are you this delusional that it's going to work? And then her argument was still we would not be able to live in our skin. I think that's one of the main themes is we want to be somewhere where we can just live as Skrulls and we don't have to shapeshift to fit into a society or something like that.
Right.
And
Well, some of the arguments that I seen on the internet were, but they have a bunch of Asgardians living,
yeah. Well, but Asgardians look like humans.
and
So
and then you got
it's a difference factor where it's the
you got
you look
Korg
different
too.
than me. I'm sorry.
Korg
Oh,
and
and Mick.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mick.
Yeah,
But the
but
thing is,
they
they
hide in
can't
Thor's house.
change. They can't change into anybody. They can't take over anybody's memories or identity. And I was like, so I mean, I didn't say anything to anybody on the internet, but I was just like, I mean, unless that, if there was a way to prevent them from doing that, which maybe Shield or Sword or somebody has that technology, but yeah, I didn't understand the argument. Well, the Asgardians, they're living there. They got a whole town and they're making all kinds of money and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, it's not
So,
the same.
so here's a question then. Let's say, and maybe they'll answer this here because I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear the answer on this. Is let's say a Skrull mimics Thor. Will he be able to lift Mjolnir?
Mhm.
Hmm. It's rhetorical. You don't have to answer
Yeah,
it,
I
but
doubt
it's
it.
just
I don't.
something to think about.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, they can mimic or they can get their powers, which you know, but you have to be worthy. And if the person impersonating Thor is not worthy, I would think Milner is smart enough to know, and Stormbreaker.
Okay. All right. That was just that was my mind tracking off. We were chasing a rabbit there.
Eh,
That and again that had
we do.
that could, I mean, comic books. Sure, why not? I'm was showing him the look at this. Look what I'm reading. Woo woo.
Oh, so because they do take in the comic books, they do take the powers of the Avengers. So
Mm-hmm.
hasn't they said like you
I'm
haven't gotten that far?
I haven't got that far yet.
Okay, so never mind. But when you
So
do,
oh yeah, I'll keep you abreast of the situation. So So anywho, we've got let's see, where did we leave off after we chased that rabbit? They shot at each other. I
well,
don't know.
she tells him. Well, I think this was before they shot at each other, but he had asked how she got that identity, and she told him how, which I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
it came with 3 conditions. One, she had to keep being the daughter to her parents, or no, she had to uh
Barrier at sea.
bury her at sea, be a daughter to her parents, and never hurt Nick, which I thought was an interesting
I
condition.
would. Well, and it wasn't necessarily was it Nick or was it just she? Because she came to her and she said, "How would you like to fall in love?" And basically, it was she had Nick in mind, and it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna use this woman. So did the doctor actually know Nick, or was it more of a I'm gonna fall in love and okay, just don't hurt the one that you're in love with kind of thing?
The latter,
Okay,
yeah,
so there you go.
but don't hurt him.
Yes. So, um, Nick takes off. They go to
They follow the president.
they follow the president. Rhodey gets in trouble for drinking, which I thought that was hilarious. Did you have a little liquid courage on the way up here?
Get him some coffee.
Give me a mint.
Yeah, and then he's like, he told that guy who's got his arm in a sling, open my door. I'm like, wow.
What a jerk. Rhodey's kind of a jerk.
Jeez. Oh gosh.
That's another reason you know that it's not Rhodey, because Rhodey in past movies has always been, I'll take care of it myself. Don't worry about it. I'll deal with it. I'll make it work. And
yeah, he's been the moral compass always.
Yeah. And honestly, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, and this would be a huge one of these, but if they did this, and I would not be happy with it at all, but if they explain that the reason that Rhodey turned into Don Cheadle in Iron Man 2 was because he was a Skrull then.
Yeah, there's so many theories.
I would have been like, no, please don't do that.
Because everybody's trying to figure out, well, how far back? Because, and I forgot to look up the article, but I guess there was an article, I don't know, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, one of those two. They were interviewing Feige, and he made the comment that Rhodey hasn't been a Rhodey for a very long time.
Huh.
And I'm just like, so now everybody's like trying to figure out, well, the first one was Iron Man 2,
Right.
And then, or no, not,
yeah.
Iron Man 2, and then Civil War, where he got shot out of the sky by Vision, and that he actually died, but a Skrull took over, so he never really truly recovered. And then what was the other one? Something about Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I can't remember. But I'm like, I don't know, because it's like everything we've seen after. This is in the very first episode, this is the first time I've seen Rhodey walk without a limp.
And I know he had like at the end of Civil War when he was shot down, was, Tony had made him, for lack of a better word, some prosthetics to assist him in walking, so he could walk, and he was learning at that point how to use them. So obviously it was very rough then. But even as far as like Endgame, and did he? No, he didn't snap. So I'm trying to sit here going through Endgame again and see if he went in the blip, but no, he was fine because he was the one tracking Ronan at that point. So, but again, not a whole lot of moving around in Endgame as far as walking goes that I can recall. A lot of flying.
Well, I'm pretty sure,
and I know
me if I'm wrong, but I thought in Falcon and Winter Soldier that when they were because he's not in there for very long. It's just
he's like one episode, like 5 minutes in one episode. Yeah.
But when he's walking around, you can see that prosthetic because it glows. Okay. Right. So you could see it through his slacks. And I'm like,
can you not see it now? I don't know. I kind of like the idea of he died at
Civil War.
In Civil War, and he was taken over by a Skrull, like at the hospital or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been like their Skrulls, because that's one of the things that they're talking about doing is we want to obtain the powers of the Earth's heroes. And
Rhodey has no powers, and we have yet to see this guy in the suit. the armor suit.
But again, Rhodey, you're right. Rhodey has no powers, but Rhodey is in that group.
And he's close to the president too. So
right, he's in the inner circle. So it's like he doesn't have powers, but he has access to the people that do have powers.
Right. So yeah, I'm thinking. Let's see, we got 2 episodes left, so I'm thinking I would hope that somewhere in these next 2 excuse me, episodes, we get a flashback as to when he actually became a Skrull.
Hopefully. So
I don't know when else he would. Unless he's in the Marvels.
I don't know why he would be in the Marvels.
I don't know why he would be either, but that's the only other.
I'm kind of curious as to, because Fury went up to Saber after the blip. So was Spider-Man Far From Home the only case of Fury being impersonated by a Skrull? Because that was Talos at the end of Far From Home, playing Nick Fury.
Right. Well, I mean, everything.
How far back does? And that can be there was always the theory of, well, Nick's been a Skrull the whole time because of what he said in Captain Marvel. In Captain Marvel, there was the one scene where she said, "Tell me something that nobody else knows about you." And he said, "I don't like my bread cut vertical. It has to be diagonal. Has to be cut diagonal. I don't like my toast cut." But in Age of Ultron, when they're at the farmhouse, when they're at Clint's house, and he's making toast, he cuts it horizontal, and it's like, oh,
yeah. So
has Nick been a Skrull this whole? Oh, I'm sorry, Fury. Has Fury been a Skrull this whole time? Nobody calls him Nick, not even his mama.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, and I hope I would think they would get all this out of the way by the end of the show.
Quash some of the theories and bring light to some of the other ones. I'd like that. There's not. Here's the thing. There's a lot of theories out there, and honestly, none of them really have to do with the outcome of the movies thus far. I mean, you're talking about, okay, was Nick a Skrull in Age of Ultron? Does it matter? Everything ended well there. How far back was, did Rhodey actually die at the end of Civil War? And then, does it really matter because he was still doing good things. He was still.
He's a female. I was like, oh my god, that shower scene. I was like, who's this?
Yeah.
Swipes the mirror and it's ready. I was like, oh man.
It was wrapped up in there. I was like, oh wait, oh, oh no. So anyway, they get to Russia. We find out the plan is to make an attack on the president. Garrick, was it Garrick that was talking to him? Oh no, we missed the one scene where Garrick walks in on his troops and he's like, and they're trying to tell him that what's her name's a Skrull, or a Skrull, a mole. Gaia was a mole, and he's like, don't worry about it, I got it taken care of. It's been handled already. I already took care of it. Don't worry about it.
New.
Yeah. I'll come back and bite him in the butt here in a minute. But
and she's got powers, and we don't know exactly how many powers.
We know he
has the Extremis, but
we know he has at least 2. He's got Extremis, and he's used the Groot arm. So, and
he's got another one. I seen the trailer for the next episode.
Send it to me, and we'll watch it. I'll get it up. But anyway, then we jump into the attack on the president, and of course, pew pew pew, bang bang bang, shoot shoot shoot, gun gun gun. A lot of stuff, a lot of things blowing up. Um, a lot of them, and it looked like the soldiers were really. It looked like they were winning. I mean, it looked like it was the humans. I mean, were just. I mean, they were just beating them back. To me, it seemed that way. But Talos gets shot. He's trying to save the president. The president is still in his car. He's unconscious. He's hanging upside down. The car's flipped over. So he goes in to break the window, and he punches the window a few times and gets shot in the process, but continues breaking the window so that they can get the president out. And one of the soldiers catches him and says, because when he got shot, he starts he does this little halfway Talos, halfway human. He started losing his shapeshifter ability. And which I sat and told Luke, I was like, that's the next cosplay that's going to be all over Comic-Con. Everybody's going to be dressed up like half Skrull, half human kind of thing. Because I know that was a big one with Mystique when X-Men was out. There was a lot of people that did that to where it was like Mystique, and they'd do half their body as Mystique, and then the other half is, whatever. So it's like something she was turning into. So that's the next big one. It'll be Talos as a half Skrull. But anyway, so the soldier sees him. He's an alien. He's an alien. He's an alien. Somebody stop him. He's going after the president. Nick's like, no. He's with me. He's fine. Don't worry about it. He's trying to save him. And then he finally, they get the president out. They take him to Nick's car. And the soldier that had called him out was there helping Talos to the car. Now, what I had to ask myself, because it wasn't really the soldier, it was Garrick.
Right. So
what did Nick see? Because he had him, and he saw him, and he saw him helping him to the car, and then he pulls his gun on him. He says, put him down and leave him alone. So what is Nick able to see these Skrulls now? Has he figured out some way to understand who's a Skrull and who's not a Skrull? Because what did he see that threw him and said, okay, this isn't really a soldier, this is a Skrull?
Well, I think it was the same soldier that was yelling out, "Oh my God, he's an alien!" and
it was.
Nick is like, no, he's with me. So I don't know if he thought that the guy didn't believe him, that he was on their side or what. But who knows what Nick can do, because he's a
mixed bag.
We just never know what he's doing or what he's up to or what he's capable of.
So it turns out that it's Garrick, which sometimes I got to question if it's really him that's doing it. Because, you had that one scene in the last episode where Talos was confronting him, and he stabbed him in the hand. And when he stabbed him in the hand, everybody else in the coffee shop stood up and turned into Garrick. So is it the kind of thing where it's like, okay, everybody has their one identity, but we can all change into Garrick just to throw people off or throw Fury off?
Right.
Or to make myself more intimidating because I can now conjure 50 of me. So, which, I mean, sure, why not? I mean, if it's the kind of thing where it's like, okay, we want one person that's going to be the face of the organization, as it were. And that would make sense too, because let's say that the Russian attack fails. We need somebody that's going to be close to the president, not necessarily Rhodey, that can take him out. And if you've got one of the guards there that's a Skrull, one of the soldiers that's a Skrull, and he's fighting back against the onslaught, And then he just turns himself into Garrick and kills Talos in front of Fury. Just so Fury knows that it was him that did it. And then Fury makes that. I've never seen Fury. You can't find it now, can you?
No, I found it, but I have to get back into Facebook to send it to you. And you want to go to 0.35 seconds because everything before that is a recap.
Oh.
So go to 0.35.
There it is. There it is. Let's see what we can see, shall we?
We shall.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, I see. Okay, so I think I've got it queued up now. Let me do this, and then we'll come over here and we'll do this. Okay, so what we're watching now is a
promo
about a minute promo for next week's episode. If I can, yeah, I got it. All right, let's see what we can see. And I've got it queued up, but I'm gonna need to unmute it. Debbie, let me know. Huh?
That would be nice.
Let me see if the music shares, or if the sound shares.
After everything you've lost, do you still
still
have
good?
any fight
You can
left
hear
in
it?
you?
Yep.
The only power I have was planted between my ears by a single mother. If that ain't enough, I don't know what hope we have.
You're the most wanted and hated man on the planet. Consider this a preview, Nick. I'm gonna make sure you get the whole show.
You're out of moves, Fury. This is a ticking time bomb.
You got to figure out which side you're on.
Marvel Studios' Secret Invasion.
You going to shoot me? Maybe. Well, probably.
Okay, so let me ask you a question about that. Did I
didn't see if it showed anything or not.
Did I see what I think I saw where it looked like, or is Garrick just that built? I mean, it almost looked like the Hulk, where he, I mean, just because his arms were so big.
Exactly.
So okay, so is that what we were looking at then?
Mm-hmm.
I hope not. And if I apologize for not looking at my screen over here it's really choppy when I watch it on the thing here, and I can watch it here. It's a lot more clear. So
yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm trying to figure out where he would have gotten Hulk DNA from. Unless
Hulk runs around and smashes things. His DNA's all over the place.
Well, somebody on the interwebs again, somebody had mentioned something about something happened in the leader, he's got a vial of She-Hulk's blood. So I don't know if maybe that, maybe they're in cahoots. Who knows? So that would be interesting.
Maybe. And of course he's got She-Hulk blood is obviously going to have Banner's blood with it, so
yeah, I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, I bet you he's got even more powers than that, because he just comes off that egotistical and narcissistic, like
We're just gonna have to wait. Well, we don't have. They're not doing a 2-part finale, are they? So we're gonna have 2 more weeks of this.
As far as I know.
I don't think they're doing it. I know Ahsoka. When Ahsoka starts, they're doing a 2-part premiere.
They're
dropping part 1. They'll drop 2 episodes at once. So I didn't know if they were gonna.
I haven't heard anything, so I assume it'll be, the next 2 episodes will be over the next 2 weeks.
Let's hope. Let's just hope. I'd like to. I'm anxious to see the end of it now, but I also don't want it to be over just yet. So, I don't know. It's weird.
That's the bad thing about them being just 6 episodes. It's like, why not make it an even 10 or 12?
Yeah.
And now that Feige is going, or not Feige, Bob Iger.
Yeah.
He's pulling everything back. And I'm like, oh, crap. So we may, after
we've got the Marvels comes up next, and then Loki.
Echo was supposed to come up, but I have heard that they delayed that till next year. And then
Loki season 2, I think, was delayed as well.
No, they shouldn't be.
I thought they shut that one down. I thought I read somewhere that they had shut that one down.
They were done a long time ago. Because it's supposed to come out in September, October.
Oh, that will be nice. Hang on, I'm looking. Let's see here. Loki season 2. Maybe if my internet will work for me, which it doesn't look like it's going to. Oh, here it goes. So
I can look it up on my phone.
Season 2, October 6th is still the date. So
yeah, they were done with everything a while back. So
maybe that's one of the ones that made it. But you had Ironheart coming up. I think that one got bumped. Which after seeing her in Wakanda Forever, I'm not all that looking forward to, but I may be surprised. So
I wasn't too.
I was surprised. Miss Marvel surprised me. So sure, why not? Maybe.
Oh, Kraven the Hunter.
Oh,
movie.
Yes.
I don't know if that was a movie or series. That was supposed to come out in October.
That was a movie. I'm pretty sure because that's in
We've already gotten a trailer for that. So
that's in the same line. That's the Sonyverse. So that's going to be with Venom and Morbius and now Kraven. Which, by the way, I watched Morbius the other day. It's on Netflix. Honestly, to me, it wasn't like horrible. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was just like, okay, this is a movie. It's. I
didn't think it was that bad. I think there was some things they could have changed, and
thought
it's not my favorite, but I've watched it a couple of times.
I've never been a fan of Jared Leto, but he filled that role perfectly. I thought that was a brilliant casting choice for him with him. So I thought it was great. And like I said, I've never been a fan of Jared Leto, and so coming from me, that's a lot. So I thought he botched the Joker, but what do I know? I'm just here. But yes, it was. I definitely I enjoyed him as Morbius. I thought that was a good casting choice. The movie, whatever.
Like I said, I've watched it a couple of times. I mean, I don't hate it.
It's on Netflix.
If there's nothing else on, I'll watch it. But
that's one of those shows. That's one of those movies where on Saturday morning you're flipping through channels and it's on FX or something. You're like, okay, sure, whatever. Got nothing better to do. Yeah. So, Anything else? Shameless plugs? Do we have any shameless plugs this week? Or hold on. Did we miss anything? Look at your notes.
I don't know if you were talking about while I was trying to look up the trailer. I was kind of zoning out, but
I could tell.
It's good, that blank look on her face. When Nick was trying to decide whether to go back for Talos or get the president out, you could tell that killed him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, because he even said, and honestly, with the loss of Rhodey, which I mean, I say loss of Rhodey. Rhodey, he knows is not on his side. Mm-hmm. He knows that there's a million Skrulls across the planet, and they're all hiding, and you don't know what they look like. You don't know who they are.
He lost Hill.
He lost Hill. He lost now Talos. I mean, he has been stripped down to nothing. The only thing that he has is the British chick that cuts people's fingers off. So, and even that's kind of tumultuous at best. So,
oh, did you talk about the scene where they're doing all the pew 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 stuff and Rhodey's just sitting in there?
Well, he knew he wasn't the target. It wasn't going to affect him.
But he's just sitting there, just kind of,
yeah,
enjoying the view.
They knew it wasn't going to hit him.
But the driver and his driver was just like kind of freaking out. I thought it was a funny scene. He's just sitting there, not very bothered by it.
Okay, shameless plugs. We got anything?
Thursday night, we will be back. We will be talking season 1 Mandalorian episode 5.
No, 4. We had.
No, that was last week. That was Sanctuary. So this week
was it?
5. Yeah, Cara Dune.
The child.
The Streets of Mos Espa. Oh wait. Yeah, the Streets of Mos Espa. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Did I screw something up?
I don't know. I thought it was, maybe it is season 5, but season 5 episode. Oh, there's 8 episodes that season. That's why it's throwing me, because I know we've got the Jailbreaks episode coming up at some point too. But this one is is one that I really enjoyed, the Gunslinger. So I think you're right. I think it is episode 5. Yeah,
we had the Mandalorian, the Child, the Sin, and then we had Sanctuary. So whatever the 5th one you said, Gunslinger.
The Gunslinger. This one is the one that's going to introduce us to Fennec Shand. Also a cool little Easter egg that happens within the thing that we don't figure out until
the thing.
Till Book of Boba Fett. So very cool, very neat.
And then Saturday is
Geek Gauntlet.
They
cover everything. They cover
everything. Marvel, DC, gaming, anime, and then a few of our GNN people will be on the Scarif podcast.
Yes. Our friends at Scarif. One of these days, Scarif, if you're watching this, one of these days I need to get on there, but I'll find some time. I promise.
Very nice group. I like them. So they'll be on before Geek Gauntlet. I think it's like 8 Eastern.
Yeah, I think so.
So
I think yeah. I think that's because I talked to Ambrose about that. So
yeah. So yeah, lots going on.
There was something else. Oh, the drawing. Hey, we've got stuff we're giving away. Go to our Facebook page. We're giving stuff away. Sign up to get your entry in. It's a bunch of Mandalorian stuff. You can see a picture of everything, description of everything. I thought I may have the whole box of stuff right here with me. So I have it with me. it's a free giveaway. We ask nothing in return other than you come look at our Facebook page. How about that? That's all you got to do. Come look at the Facebook page. You can get extra entries by visiting all of our other stuff, Instagram, Twitter, the whole kit and caboodle. So anyway, go check out the giveaway. We're giving away a bunch of Mandalorian stuff. I think that's about it. We're talking Mandalorian on Thursday, and it's not Harrison Ford's birthday, so it'll be strictly Mandalorian.
Damn it.
Sorry.
Every week should be Harrison Ford week.
So, that being said, we will see you all next week where we will start episode 5's in 2 days. Tuesday, Wednesday. 2 days. Actually, 1 day, really, because it's Tuesday, and then you get up early Wednesday morning and watch Secret Invasion.
I always get up early in case it's an hour long, because their episodes are so, this last one was like 38 minutes.
I was going to say, this last one seemed really short compared to some of the other ones.
But I always get up a little extra early in case it's close to an hour show, and I have to watch it before I go to work because I don't like to be spoiled on the internet. So
some of our people like to get up like at midnight and watch it like right as soon as it drops. Yeah,
depends on where you live. It's 3. It would be 3 my time, and homie don't play that. So
I was gonna say that's a young man's game. I can't. No.
Unless my insomnia kicks in and I happen to be up, I might do it, but not.
I'm staying up till 9:30 tonight. Oh, it's past 9:30. It's past bedtime. What are we still doing? No, I'm kidding. Kidding. All right. Well, from all of us here at Geek News Now, have a great week, everybody. We will see you all next week as we talk about more Secret Invasion. Talk to you later.